I think it was around 2018. Back then, it wasn't a thing for me to journal by hand. And I had a notebook somewhere that I used, I don't know, for something else. And I scribbled some words. I didn't write the date because I wasn't used to doing this back then. But I wrote those words because for me, those were huge words and I really wanted to remember them. So the words are trust, relax, and surrender. And I started calling them the chain of huge words because they have an order. They are a chain. And it was a milestone for me because it's when I understood that whatever is bothering me and is in my head all day, like I'm starting to get anxiety of thinking about my process so much. And I understood that that was leading nowhere. So trust, relax, surrender is the tool with which I practiced how to get out of my thoughts, because I understood that the things I'm after, the answers I'm after, are not going to be found by analyzing just a little bit more. The things I'm after are totally somewhere else. They're not in my head. They're not in my conditioning. They're not in my controlling mechanisms. They're somewhere else. So trust, relax, surrender is really what helped me train how to look for answers outside of my own head. Yeah, trust, relax, surrender. Let's deep dive into it. So, creas lo que creas is wordplay in Spanish, and literally it would translate, you create what you believe, right? And this truth is universal truth, meaning it is guaranteed that it is like that, and at a very literal level. It's like whatever you believe firmly is what you project outside. The universe is a mirror. The universe is mirroring back to you your inner state. So if you believe something fiercely, that's what you're going to continue to see happen to you, because that's your mindset. And you live in your mindset and it gets fed back to you. Okay. So literally, anything you believe with conviction, you can create. And you can trust that because it's cosmic law. So you can trust that. You can know that that is true. So for me, this was the one thing that really kept me going, kept me focused, kept me grounded during my transition from the mainstream to where I live now at the Jungle Hub. Knowing that this was a big, crazy decision, and learning how to simply let go, right, of my old self, of my old life. And it was the understanding first that there is such a thing as cosmic law, and once you get that is cosmic law, then it applies everywhere. It applies on Earth and in every other planet, and in the sun, and in the rings of Saturn, and in a rock somewhere in the void. And that is one, creas lo que creas. So you create what you believe, and with this trust, you're armed to face anything, right? Because you can also believe that you can trust your process, right? That whatever difficulty comes at you, it doesn't matter. It's not about, it's about an opportunity to learn something, right? So trusting that even if it's not comfortable, what you're having to face right now, that there's something of value in that experience, and that is to trust your process. So trust is huge. And we are not taught to trust in these days, are we? Quite the opposite. We are taught to distrust. the authority, everything out there. So we have to relearn how to trust, and it begins with trusting universal truth and trusting your process and trusting yourself, right? For example, this topic of trust in the religions is called faith. And a lot of people don't understand faith, but it's actually the same, right? And faith doesn't mean that you have to blindly follow something that comes from outside, like a religion or politics or the anchorman or my parents or whatever. If it's outside, you're not obliged to have blind faith, okay? You can interact with those things, but ultimate faith, ultimate trust, you have to have in your intuition, in yourself, in your own voice, in your own power. So we are in so many ways discouraged in our society to understand how powerful we are. So I know it's hard for us to trust that we are powerful, that we have agency, right? That we can do whatever needs to be done to transcend whatever circumstance. I don't care how seemingly impossible it seems, or dramatic, or this or that. Yes, it's your process. Okay, so trusting that helps a lot. And what else is trust? Yes, trust your process, and don't begin to entertain worrying, and because worry is to speculate that whatever is uncertain right now is going to come down in a negative way. Like, why would you do that? If anything, speculate that it's going to be fine, everything. And even better, don't speculate at all. Just be content to be in the present in whatever way things are right now, and accept that as it is. And if you don't know what to do, then it's uncertain. And now is a moment to simply enjoy the uncertainty and not try to control it immediately, but to let it be. And that opening of that space is going to, create the space for really something new and novel to happen. A great idea, connecting the dots of something, something coming full circle, and so on. So, yeah, I think that's a lot to say about trust. I will be mentioning trust throughout these talks a lot because it's everywhere, and I love trust. So there you have it. Okay, so relax. It's super important. It's the prerequisite for every meditation that I guide, because the stress in the body will keep us in the brain, in the mind, in the thoughts. Okay, the tension in the body will make it a lot more difficult to calm our minds. Therefore, learning to relax deeply. The inner musculature, right? The organs is super important. It is important to relearn how to experience your body from the inside, okay? It is super important because the body is the sanctuary that we need to inhabit. When we are inhabiting our full being, including the body, then really we are in control, and not in bad control kind of way, but really present there to be responsible for our own lives. So relearning how to inhabit the body from the inside, how to feel the stuff that is happening inside the body. And to be able to do this, first and foremost, you need to be able to relax. Relax is the second word in this chain of huge words, because first of all, you have to trust, right? You have to be in the right mindset about it. And second, if you're really serious about this, okay, now we begin the work. And the work begins in the body, and the work stays to be in the body, and the work finishes in the body. The body is like connected to everything else, right? Everything is connected. The body is a reflection of the mind and vice versa. So we can work with the body, which is the physical thing we have here in front of us, our vehicle. We can work with it and heal. The healing starts there in the body and then translates like magic to the other realms, the mind, the spirit. So being nice to yourself, again, feeling comfortable in your body, right? Being aware of your posture to see if maybe you are straining yourself unnecessarily. That's why it's important to have a straight back, mainly because with a straight back, the head supports itself. I don't need to use my muscles to keep my head at a tilt if my posture is going off. So, and then sitting in meditation, so comfortable. But not just in the meditations, going through life, inhabiting your body. You see, if you're this like clumsy person that is always breaking something and not really noticing where they're stepping and breaking things as they move about, maybe think if you're really inhabiting your body, or if you're just in this part of the body, right? In here, and with a million thoughts and with anxiety, and no, relax. Befriend the body, connect with it. How do you connect with the body? Well, connect with your breath, but that's meditation stuff. You can go see all of our meditations that we have recorded live here at the Jungle Hut. All right, relax. Oh, okay. So I was saying that the mind is a reflection of the body and vice versa. So relaxing the body and learning what are the tricks to really profoundly relaxing. It has to do with posture, but it also has to do with simply awareness. You can begin with the obvious stuff, right? The breath and how your thorax moves with each breath, and the kind of obvious stuff that everybody can feel. But having the focus to stay there and explore that sensation fully. Okay, so in the topic of relaxing the body and understanding that when the body gets truly relaxed, then the mind gets truly relaxed. And if you had that persistent thought that was just so insisting, now you see that, no, there is the possibility to experience some silence there. Some silence in the mind is necessary. To live a functional life, really. And then surrender. Once we have mastered how to relax the physical body and therefore the mind, now we are in the perfect state to exercise surrender. And I know this word sounds very fancy and it sounds very flowery, but the idea is that, for instance, when you have pain in the body, let's say that your back is super tense, happens to me, that's why that's my experience. I have a super tense back and it's actually painful, but I know how to move it in a way that I notice where the tension is, and it's like doing first a very, very soft massage just to pinpoint exactly what the area is that has pain. And then with time I began to notice that if I was able to simply breathe in and concentrate on that part of the body, I noticed that if I just relax everything super deeply, and I don't care about the pain. I'm not going to try to move it so as to try to alleviate the pain or stretch it more and pound it here and pound it there. No, sometimes simply the act of becoming very aware of that part in your body, and you do that by very slightly moving around it. Ah, yes, I feel the tension right now. It's right there. Then I stop, I breathe into that part, and I notice that at a certain point in this tension, there is micro tension that I am creating myself. I am able to release the micro tension, surrendering to the pain. In this case, you don't want to make the pain go away necessarily. You're just feeling it, accepting it, feeling the pain how it is, enjoying it even, appreciating it, better said, until it dissolves into the surrender. So it's the lack of resistance, right? Profound relaxation can be thought of as lack of resistance. And the lack of resistance is what finally brings the deepest relaxation, and that is the surrender. As far as the body is concerned, and the posture and the feeling comfortable in your body, and then surrender continues on with the notion that when you're meditating, you're being the witness, right? That's our method. We are being the witness always of either the fact that we're thinking A, B, or C, or witness of our breath, our body, the sensation of relaxation inside. And being the witness really means being the observer, being there but not touching anything. Don't touch anything. Don't steer. Don't think you have to steer anything and change and control stuff. No. Be the witness means hands off. You can lean back and observe. Observe what's happening. That is surrender. I'm in very constant thoughts. Excellent. Let's observe that. How does it feel to be the me that is having these incessant thoughts? Let's see. And then it's like, oh, boom, 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 that thought and that other thought. Ah, interesting. Then you go like, interesting that I'm having that repetitive thought yet again and so on, right? This is meditation stuff. This is learning to be the witness. This is also surrender. So surrender means back off and relax, sit down. You've done enough, you're doing great, but now it's time for you to sit there, down and experience, witness what is there, and how does that make me feel without turning it into a thought. Okay, meditation stuff. But very important in life, because we live our lives like we want to take control of absolutely everything. We've been primed, we've been taught how to do that. Yes. But this is going now into the topic of 5D energies that I'm going to really expand on later, so stay tuned. So somewhere around 2018 or 2019, I have this dream that I am going inside the chambers of some kind of pyramid and going around the corner until a big space begins to open up, And then when I enter, it's a larger room inside the pyramid still, and then there is in the center this beautiful, magnificent white horse dressed up like a king, everywhere in the head and in the back, and just presented in such a royal way. And I understood that this was a present for me. And I think that dream has a lot to do with the present that was to come across this chain of huge words: trust, relax, surrender. It's like a very short way to remember. It's like in panic mode, right? Break the glass if you don't know what to do. Those in order. Trust first means have faith in you. Relax, right? Because this is about working with the body, not against it. And then surrender. Stop engaging. Stop engaging. Learn to feel what it feels like to disengage and see what happens. So that's it. I hope you're here for the next video. We're gonna be talking about a good one: personal responsibility. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about fear and personal responsibility. So very, very interesting topics. I'll see you there.